Mr. Trump ramped up his saber-rattling against Russia on Wednesday, threatening further sanctions for Russia's alleged chemical attack in Syria. In a scathing attack, the U.S. president vowed to unleash a barrage of smart rockets on Syria, while blasting Moscow for aligning with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Mr. Trump tweeted, "Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. Get ready, Russia. Because they will be coming, nice and new and smart!" You shouldn't be partners with a gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it! In another tweet, Mr. Trump conceded the U.S.-Russian relationship is worse than it has ever been. He said, "Our relationship with Russia is worse now than it has ever been, and that includes the Cold War. There is no reason for this." The smart missile threat has since been ridiculed by Moscow, with a foreign ministry spokeswoman accusing the U.S. of attempting to destroy evidence of chemical attacks on the ground in Syria. The Russian foreign ministry underlined the U.S. missile strikes ought to be aimed at terrorists and not the Syrian government. Get Russia v. USA. Donald Trump has pledged to unleash smart missiles on Syria. Donald Trump Twitter Russia v. USA. The U.S. president announced his threat via Twitter. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said, "Smart missiles should fly towards terrorists, and not towards the lawful government which had been fighting international terrorism on its territory for several years. Get ready, Russia. Because they will be coming, nice and new and smart." Donald Trump and Andrei Krasov, deputy chairman of the Russian Parliament's Defense Committee, also warned Russia would consider an airstrike on Syria a war crime. Mr. Krasov stressed his country would treat any U.S. airstrikes not just as an act of aggression but a war crime of the Western coalition. But what exactly are the smart missiles Donald Trump tweeted about? Any U.S. missile strike over Syria is likely to involve U.S. Navy missile destroyer, the USS Donald Cook, which is stationed in the Mediterranean. Pan-European Air Traffic Control Agency Eurocontrol has warned airliners in the region to stay wary of potential missile strike towards Syria over the next few days. The Flight Control Agency said air-to-ground cruise missiles could be used in the region, leading to intermittent radio communication disruptions of navigation equipment. Eurocontrol warned on Tuesday afternoon, due to the possible launch of airstrikes into Syria with air-to-ground indoor cruise missiles within the next 72 hours. And the possibility of intermittent disruption of radio navigation equipment, due consideration needs to be taken when planning flight operations in the eastern Mediterranean. Nicosia for area. Get Russia v. USA. President Trump admitted relations are worse than the Cold War. Several European airliners such as Air France have now changed their flight routes over the conflict zone, including flights to Beirut and Tel Aviv. Earlier this week, the Russian ambassador to Lebanon, Alexander Zasypkin, threatened to shoot down any United States missiles in the region. The ambassador told Hezbollah's Al-Manar TV, "If there is a strike by the Americans, then the missiles will be downed," and even the sources from which the missiles were fired. On March 13, the Russian military warned it would aggressively respond to any perceived U.S. missile threat by targeting missiles and launchers alike.